Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Late Morning Sports Roundup Show. Adam Blankenship and Scott Hardy here with you for about another 25 minutes or so, we appreciate you guys tuning in. But we're getting set and ready for our next interview, who is Chad Kison, and he is a great friend of the show as well as all of ours. He is the head basketball coach for the Horseshoe Bend Generals. So right now we'll welcome him in. Chad, thanks for joining us tonight. Chad, we got you?
Yes.
All right, we got you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, just kind of getting things started off for those who may not be familiar with the general program, can you give us a little oversight as to how things have been going this year and kind of how you're setting up for area play?
We're actually off to a real good start before Christmas. We started out 2-0, and we lost the next 4, went down to 2-4, and then we won the next 4. So right now we're sitting at 6-4 on the season. Having a real good season, being very competitive in all the basketball games that we played. Toughest games for us, obviously, are our area games. Our area is just one of those tough ones of the state. You know, it's just you try to compete the best you can, but you're just overmatched a little bit.
All right. Well, we're definitely very pleased to see that the Generals are doing well so far. Just early on, what are your impressions for a strength of the team? What do you think your biggest strengths are so far?
Oh, so far we've actually shot the ball really well. We had one game where we didn't shoot really well, but overall, throughout those games, we've shot the ball well from three-point land. We've got about 5 or 6 guys that can actually shoot the ball from threes. And we don't have a lot of inside game. We're not big. We just have a lot of motion and running around the perimeter right there and look for open looks. And it's tough for defenses because we do have 3 or 4 that can spot up from outside and hit at any point. So we move it around. We don't really force anything, and we just try to hit our open shots.
Have you guys had the opportunity to play any tournaments or anything leading up to area play? And if so, tell us a little bit about the results of some of those.
Yeah, sure. We actually hosted a holiday invitational at Horseshoe Bend. We had Woodland, Holtville, and the Wadley come in to our gym and play right before Christmas. We actually ended on championship was on December 16th, that Friday night before we left for break. And the Generals, we actually won the tournament. We beat Wadley in the finals by 5. They had beat us by 6 the week previous, so it was one of those games back and forth the entire game. They were up on us, we were up on them a little bit, but fourth quarter they went up by 7, and we had to come back, shot really well. Cade Worthy hit a great three-pointer from the top to kind of seal it, and we ended up beating them by 5 that night.
And again, we're here with Coach Chad Kison, who's the head coach of the basketball team for the Horseshoe Bend Generals. And Coach, this is something that I've talked about at length, and we all have with Coach Franklin. And for a school the size of Horseshoe Bend, a lot of times it seems like it's hard to maintain success. So do you think that correlates on the basketball side? It seems like a lot of the success is cyclical.
We definitely share players at Horseshoe Bend. The boy plays football is most likely going to play basketball for us, and then obviously play baseball too. So we kind of share a lot of athletes out there because we don't have a lot to draw from. But I've got a great group of juniors in right now, and I've got about 4 or 5 seniors that are playing real well. So it's one of those years where we're up right now, and we've got great athletes, good kids working hard. We've got that every year, but it's just a matter of putting it all together. And then I think next year we'll be okay with our junior class. We've got a strong junior class right now, so I think we'll be okay next year also. But it's just getting them to work together and want to play year after year, season after season, because you come off a long football season, did great during football, and then we come into basketball, have to change it over, play basketball for 4 months, and then we go into baseball and play baseball for 3 or 4 months. So it's just getting those kids riled up, ready to play, a lot of energy in our program, and getting them going.
Yeah, Chad, with area play just around the corner, what are some of the things you guys are trying to work on to shore up, to make sure that you're ready to make that push?
Well, if we could, we'd like to work on height. So if I could stretch them out about 4 or 5 inches per guy, that would help us. We match up with Lynette and Lafette. Right now, Lynette's the defending state champ. They start a 6'8", 6'8", 2 6'6", and probably like a 6-foot shooting guard. So the matchup size-wise is really tough for us to compete with. And obviously they're very athletic also. And then Lafette, they were the state champion 2 years ago. They don't start as big guys, but they're just very athletic and can move. And they've got a guy down there named Booby that could really fill it up for them too.
Yeah, well, but I know that we're talking a little bit about basketball, but as we alluded to in a couple of segments ago, you are somebody who is a follower of the U.S. soccer program, and so I wanted to ask you, kind of what your thoughts are on the state of the U.S. soccer team after the firing of Klinsmann and the hiring of Bruce Arena.
I'm 50-50 with it, actually. You brought a guy that you didn't really like a couple of years back. You brought him back in, and it seems like, is he the only one that was available or that wanted the job, or is there just nobody out there that's really on top of their list? So it's kind of, it makes me think that they're not really pushing too much to change a lot, which I think the U.S. soccer program needs a change. I think they need some kind of upbeat, more energy, just get after it type soccer. And I just don't think that we can compete with these countries if we continue just to keep the same guys involved and just day after day the same thing happens and we don't have anything to really shake it up. Same players have been there for a while now, so now we got to start looking at some younger players, which that always takes years also. But Bruce Arenas, he was successful for a while, but then he lost it. So I don't know, where did he bring it? Where did he find it now? Has he found it somewhere? Is there somewhere else that we could have looked? Bob Bradley went over to Europe and coached over there, but he's gotten let go already. So it's one of those things where I don't know if we have anybody at U.S. Soccer right now.
Well, transitioning from the international football to American football, we everybody who's familiar with our show knows that we have a good friend, Kyle Graveman, who shares your love of the Green Bay Packers. They draw the Giants in the first round of the playoffs. Can you just kind of your thoughts on their the likelihood of them making a Super Bowl push? Aaron Rodgers seems to be playing like the MVP of the league and probably has a good chance to win it. Just your overall thoughts on the matchup against the Giants and kind of what needs to happen for them to make a Super Bowl run.
Well, like Aaron Rodgers said, we can run the table and just relax everybody. Now we start out real bad, and then we run the table and win the NFC North again. It's one of those things where, it just takes time. They've had some injuries, all the running backs are gone, so you got Ty Montgomery back there running the football, who's actually a wide receiver and doing a heck of a job running the football right now. But you got Aaron Rodgers back there, you never know what can happen. He's so good, picking apart defenses and everything. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is the Giants have come into Lambeau before, which I think the high is about 12 degrees on Sunday. But they've come in there and been successful. Eli Manning knows how to play. He's good in cold weather also. They've got some good playmakers. But I like where the Packers are right now and the way they finished. There wasn't any games in this run here that were real close. So I thought that we just took care of business, especially in the fourth quarter, and just took care of everybody. And it's always good to see them beat the Vikings, Bears, and Detroit. So that's always a good thing for us. So I'm pretty excited about the Super Bowl. I'm nervous about Atlanta. I think Atlanta's playing really good football right now. Obviously, Tom Brady, it's tough to compete with him if you get to that Super Bowl level right there. So, but it'll be a fun little thing. And my Wisconsin Badgers won the other day, so they won their bowl game, and it was a great weekend in the Kison household.
Well, good deal, man. Well, Chad, we appreciate you joining us, and good luck the rest of the year as you guys start area play, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you as you guys make a postseason run.
Sounds great. Appreciate you having me. Thank you, guys.